Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I thank the Honourable Assistant Minister for his question. Mr. Speaker, this question itself perhaps would require a broader ministerial statement. But very briefly, I want to say that the achievement and the progress towards sustainable development goals, by way of background, we started with the Millennium Development Goals, where there were 8 goals focused on reducing income poverty, providing housing, health, education, environmental sustainability, those 15 years. And in anticipation of the end of the Millennium Development Goals, the United Nations adopted the Sustainable Development Goals, and obviously most countries, including Fiji, signed the United Nations Agenda 2030 in 2015. And of course, for any country, that itself is a whole of government approach. No country could achieve sustainable development goals without having a whole of country approach. The SDGs, Mr. Speaker, compared to the Millennium Development Goals, are more ambitious. They address a much broader set of concerns and emphasizes the link between global goals and national targets and national agenda. So as part of the government's approach, we embrace a very comprehensive approach involving the entire government, and the interconnected economic, social and environmental pillars of the 2030 agenda necessitate collaboration between different government ministries. So if I could just very quickly lay out the different ministries that are responsible as focal points to coordinate this whole of government approach, would provide some information for the honourable members in this House with respect to how this is being done. And this was demonstrated in our most recent 2023 Voluntary National Review Report, which was presented by the Honourable Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honourable Lenora Geregere-Tambu at the United Nations, and that report, Mr. Speaker, was very well received. So the focal points for each SDGs, and there are 17 goals, Mr. Speaker, under SDGs as compared to 8 under the Millennium Development Goals. SDG 1, eradicating poverty, comes under the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Protection. SDG 2, zero hunger, Ministry of Agriculture and Waterways. Health and Well-being, Ministry of Health. Quality Education, Ministry of Education. Obviously, Gender Equality, again, Ministry of Women. Clean Water and Sanitation, SDG 6, Ministry of Public Works. Affordable and Clean Energy, SDG 7, Ministry of Public Works. Decent Work and Economic Growth, Ministry of Finance, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure, Ministry of Trade and Cooperatives. Reduced Inequalities, again, Ministry of Women. Sustainable Cities and Communities, Ministry of Housing and Local Government. Responsible Consumption and Production, again, Ministry of Trade and Cooperatives. Climate Action, Office of the Honourable Prime Minister. Life Below Water, Ministry of Fisheries and Forestry. Life on Land, again, Ministry of Fisheries and Forestry. Peace, Justice and Strong Institutions, Ministry of Justice and the Office of the Attorney General. And Partnership for the Goals falls under the Honourable Prime Minister's Office and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So, Mr. Speaker, in that way, we, in accordance with the national priorities, I will just also name a few ministries, particularly the Ministry of Women and Culture, Women, Children and Social Protection is actively involved in supporting programs that have a goal of reducing poverty. But again, reducing poverty, Mr. Speaker, is a whole of government approach. But that is the focal point, and that ministry's mandate is to work with all the other ministries. Then we have Ministry of Agriculture and Waterways, Ministry of Health, SDG 13, the importance of climate action. Again, the importance of addressing SDG 13 falls under the Honorable Prime Minister's office, and that gives us a lot of synergy, a lot of influence and power to be able to promote SDG 13, because it reflects the coalition government's highest attention to that particular SDG 13. And we are very pleased that some of the actions that we've taken over the last 17 months, not only in terms of accessing climate finance and looking at various projects, the influence and the leadership of the Prime Minister has given different ministries a much better influence and leeway in terms of negotiating some of the broader project-based activities under different development goals. So the whole of the government approach, Mr. Speaker, emphasizes the collective contribution of all the stakeholders in achieving the SDGs, and I could provide the whole list of stakeholders that are engaged. But let me also assure the House that the new National Development Plan will itself be a holistic approach to achieving the UN SDG priorities. And each sector of the new National Development Plan will align the whole of government commitment to the SDGs, Mr. Speaker, for future that is inclusive and prosperous and environmentally responsible. So just in terms of the National Development Plan, the nationwide public consultation was held over 300 locations around the nation, with a record number of more than 21,000 people being consulted, who had the opportunity to talk about the plan, exchange their ideas, and the depth of analysis and collaborative nature of the government ministries' participation in the process, focusing on the SDG goals, Mr. Speaker, has been quite defining, and we are very pleased, and I'm sure when the final plan comes out, it will also support this idea of holistic government approach to achieving sustainable development goals. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.